Hey, my brothers, I am back with Brothers United Roundtable. Today's video, you don't have to suffer in silence. Men, this is important today because you got to understand something. We have gotten so used to suffering in silence, we let our whole life go into self-destruction. And nobody knows. It's a condition that we have gotten used to. A condition that we have adapted ourselves to. And the reason for that is because we got so used to dealing with people telling us no. We got used to dealing with people who just didn't care when they even seen us in a bad predicament. So we got into a point where we became so prideful to where I got to figure it out myself. Because we've been doing that for so long. Because we've been living in a society today that have taught us that nobody cares and have shown us in every way. Whether you was in a relationship with a woman, you hit hard times, she kicked you out. Whether you felt hard times in your life, like we all do as men, and nobody had your back. Because nobody want to hear you complaining about your situation. Nobody cares about your condition. So we so used to suffering in silence, brothers. We got used to that condition. And I'm here today to tell you, brothers, you don't have to suffer with that condition. That if I told you that if you had people in your life that cared for you, they will show you another way. Let me say that one more time. If you had people in your life that care for you, they'll show you another way. And what is that other way, you may ask? The other way is a better path. And that path is people who helps you along the way of life. It goes back to what I preach about on this channel, brotherhood, friendship. If you have a friend in your life that's letting you suffer in silence and see it, that's not a brother. That's just somebody that's with you and around you. For whatever reason they with you and around you for. While you're in a relationship with a woman, that's just somebody that's with you and around you. You know, that's the reality, brothers. You know, we've been so used to that. And we must start creating a new condition, start changing our minds and understanding that you don't have to deal with this alone. You don't have to suffer in silence no more. See, I believe in setting rules in your life. I believe in putting things in place in your life. Surrounding yourself with people who do care. You know, I used to be just like that, suffering in silence. I could tell you a story that one day one of my brothers came through. I was struggling at the moment. I didn't have food in my refrigerator. He came through. He didn't say anything. He saw me open my fridge, get a water. What food I had left wasn't nothing much. He said, man, let's go to the store. I went to the store. He said, no, we're going to go to Walmart. He went ahead and said, look, he said, I got to get some food. He filled up his basket with food, came to my house and said, look, here go the food. I was like, what you mean the food? I got food. He said, brother, you ain't got no food in your house. Here, take this food. I didn't ask him or nothing. He just did it. You know why? Because we are friends. We are brothers. See, a brother that will sit and let you suffer, it's not a brother at all. Let me say that again. A brother that will let you sit and suffer is not a brother at all. He's not your brother. He don't care about your situation. He did that for me. And to this day today, as I speak to you, that's still my brother. And whatever he went through in life, I was 100% there for him. That's what brotherhood is about. Brothers don't let a man suffer in silence. Brothers don't let a man get to a point to where he want to blow his head off. He's there for his brother. He's making sure his brother get up off his feet. He motivates his brother. He pushes his brother to be great. Man, I'm telling you today, that may be some of you today that's suffering in silence. That may be some of you today that's going through hard times in your life and nobody knows, or maybe some people do know, but they don't care. You need to start letting people go. I always talk about that. Stop being around people that when you go through things in your life or you suffering in your life and you going through things, they're not even there to lend a hand. And 9 times out of 10, most of those people, you always was there for them. See, I had to learn that, brothers. Stop being there for those who's not there for you. Because as men, you don't have to suffer in silence, because suffering in silence is not healthy. Suffering in silence leads to suicide. Because you only can deal with so much, man. You got brothers that's coming from overseas, serving this country, suffering in silence with PTSD. And they killing themselves. You may be brothers going through a divorce, suffering in silence, and killing himself. You don't have to suffer in silence. I know we've been so used to suffering in silence, it became a condition. It's not a healthy condition. We've been so used to this condition because everybody in this society, mostly people, told us they don't give a damn. We're so used to getting it out the mud alone. You don't have to get it out the mud alone. You can get it out the mud together. There's a such thing as getting it out the mud together, building together. Loneliness comes from suffering in silence. Loneliness leads to depression. And depression comes with suicide. Trust me, it's serious. As men, we don't have to go through this no more. And I'm trying to get this through your thick head as men to understand that this is not a condition that you have to suffer with. You need to put rules in place in your life, man. So you never get to a point where you have to suffer in silence, where you can have brothers who as soon as they see you going through something, they there. Yeah, we all deal with our own problems, but your brother gonna be there for you like you there for your brother. It's a two-way street. And we must understand that today, because we're about building as men. If you got a brother that you call your brother and he's suffering, he ain't building with you. So he's suffering while y'all not building. You need him to build, so let's build together. Lift him up so you can build. The whole goal is progression. So it's time to build. Don't have to suffer in silence when you got brothers around you. And if those brothers is not there for you when you go through things, you need to let them go. Cut them off. As I always say. You must understand this because men today do not have to suffer in silence. That's a condition that we must change. We should be about unity, togetherness. It's the driving force of us as men. When you see a colony of ants, is a colony for a reason. They all building. One of them not building. That's not one ant. That's a colony. It takes a colony of us to build a nation. So no man shall be left behind, my brothers. That's camaraderie right there. You must understand. It's important. The word of the message is never suffer in silence, that you are not alone. You don't have to suffer. This is Brothers United Round Table, my brothers. I'm out.